Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 1 of Walking with Jay. Today's date is the 18th of September 2018. I'm your host, Jeremy Vincent Henry Larson, and I'm just getting ready to get some steps in today. Let's see, what's my topic of conversation today? It's difficult when I have to talk to myself, even though I've got a camera here and you're kind of a proxy audience, Mr. Camera, but the reality is that this will go further than just me and my camera, I guess, I hope. And so my point being that when I have guests on the program, it's easier to maintain a conversation, but I'll just do the best that I can here. I have been told that I have the gift of gab, and so I'll go ahead and just gab away for a few minutes and we'll see how that turns out today. Back at it, yeah. Last year I did Walking with Jay. I don't even remember how many episodes I did. Almost every day I was doing an episode of Walking with Jay. And things happened and I stopped doing it, and I don't know, I guess what you'd say is that there's a time and a place for everything, and I'm just feeling like it's time to get back to walking with Jay and get back to, doing these walks and talking about the things that are important to me in my life, but also what things are important to you guys. So I'll be working on that. So this is episode 1, and I haven't put much thought into what I wanted to talk about today. I think I do want to talk about resiliency, and that's that power of being able to bounce back when life hands you a difficult situation. And I'll tell you what, I am a man who lives with bipolar disorder. A good friend of mine, Kim, today mentioned on one of my Facebook posts that I have to continue to remind myself and remind others that I am not bipolar. I am not my disorder. I am a man who lives with the disorder, but I am not the disorder. And so resiliency for me is something that I practice almost every single day. The ability to get back up when life just knocks you on your keister. And so that's kind of the overarching theme of Walking with Jay, is like, how do you design the kind of life that you want to live? And we all have excuses for not living the way that we want to live. And when I say excuses, I don't mean that in a negative way. I really don't, because I think some of the justifications that we give ourselves for not doing something that we want to do, I think they're really legitimate concerns. It might be a health concern, it might be a financial concern, it might be just a support concern. You might not be getting enough support that you need in order to do the things that you want to do in your life. And these are all realities, So the question that I have for myself and for everyone else is, what do you do with that fact that there are always going to be reasons why you can't succeed, reasons why you can't achieve your dreams, or go at least pursue your dreams, So I got to rep the brand here a little bit. I know it's probably backwards in the computer, or I don't know if you guys are on the computer or phone, but well, Walking with Jay, that looks pretty good. My brother designed that for me last year, and my good friend Ryan Forbes hooked me up with some t-shirts, and I was selling them, and I stopped selling them because I stopped losing faith. I started losing faith in myself and started losing faith in the message that I was trying to put out there. Started losing faith. And that's I think that's a pretty common thing, is to lose faith, you know. I've got a song that Brian Werber and I and the rest of the band, Lincoln County Conspiracy, we came up with a song called Be the Miracle. And the second verse of it says, there was a time when I was slipping, scared to death I would lose it all. I lost my faith along the way, didn't know how far I would fall. There were those who kept on lifting me, held me up when I wasn't strong. At the end of the day, I found my way back home where I belong. And so I'd sing that for you tonight, but I'm not gonna do it. I'll just rap the lyrics like that. Anyway, yeah, so back home where I belong, and that's kind of how I feel about walking with Jay, you know. It was just the funny idea I started last year because I wanted to lose some weight. I wanted to get my blood sugar under control, and you know, I did it. I dropped 100 pounds, and my blood sugar was like, my A1C numbers were fantastic, and the holidays rolled around. That's the first thing that derailed me. It's like Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, you know, and it just does not take that long to knock yourself off the rails, especially if you love food as much as I do. And I still love food, that's a given. But I just feel like, and then what happened, it was like when I started gaining all my weight back and stuff, I was embarrassed. I was a little bit ashamed that I wasn't able to maintain that discipline that I had, you know. And so I shied away from doing Walking with Jay. I shied away from a lot of things. I'm still a very busy guy. I've got a band now. I'm doing all kinds of different stuff. I'm still hanging out with Lee Ballou, and we're doing name dropping as often as we can, and those type of things. But the shame is a real thing, and I'll tell you what, I think shame's a bunch of nonsense. I'll tell you that right now. I think that there's a difference between being embarrassed and being ashamed, and this is what I get counseling all the time. And so is my therapist, one of my therapists, or one of my friends, someone said there's a difference between embarrassment and shame. And embarrassment is, I've done something wrong, right? Oops, I messed up. It's embarrassing to do that. But then there's the other factor, and that's shame. And shame is like, I am something wrong. Like there's something wrong with me. And if you'll fast forward into that song a little bit that I was just talking about, it says, I'll be right by your side through every storm that comes your way, my friend. I believe in you, and will you trust me when I say have faith and you will be the miracle. Shame is just such a powerful force for negativity. It just really is. Shame says that you will never be the miracle. Shame says that no matter what you do, you will never be good enough. Shame says you're not worthy. Shame says you're not lovable. Shame says all kinds of different things, and it's not very nice. So shame, knock it off. That's what I'm trying to say here tonight. And I'm probably only going to go 10 minutes tonight to get started. That's what I started off with last year. But I want to get on this journey again. I want to get back on the horse for myself, you know. I'm not ashamed that I gained all my weight back. I think that if you saw our concert at Toad's last Friday, you would have seen someone who just was not ashamed. And that's, in that moment, in that whole evening, I never did feel ashamed of how heavy I was. I never did feel ashamed at my voice going out, any of those different things that I normally feel ashamed about. Thank God. So I just say, by the grace of God, I didn't feel those things. And so yeah, I did feel some shame when I looked back at the videos at first, because I'm like, oh my gosh, here's this fat guy dancing around, and that's embarrassing. But I found out that that's all that was just like a little embarrassing. But after I watched the videos, I'm like, whoa, that fat guy can dance. You know, that fat guy's got the moves, and he knows how to command an audience. And so you can call that pride, but I was disassociated. I don't know what the word is again, but I was kind of, you know, just watching myself as if I were watching someone else. And I love that guy. You know what I mean? I love that guy, and I love all the guys in my band. I love Chuck Triplett on the bass guitar. I've known him since 76 or 75 or something like that. Ben Matthews and I, the drummer, we go way, way back. Played music together. He's a kindred spirit, that guy. He loves the rock and roll, and he loves to joke, and he's just got a good vibe about life. My brothers from another mother, Don and Brian Werber, two awesome dudes. So stoked to be in their band, you know. And so, yeah, we're doing things. We're doing things because we're not ashamed, and we're going to get out there and continue to rock. And so I'm going to continue to walking with Jay. I'm going to try to hit this every day like I was. Start tracking my blood sugars in the morning, because that's the first place I want to start, is to get those blood sugars under control. And once I do that, then I can take whatever other steps I need to take. Where was I? I digress. Yeah, you too can be the miracle. And so I just want to tell you guys that I love you, and I know that this video might be finding you at a place in your life right now where you might be feeling ashamed about something. And I just want to tell you that shame is going to keep you from being resilient. Shame is going to keep you from achieving the things that you really want to achieve. And I know that might seem like the ticket for you now, that you don't deserve to achieve the things that you want to achieve. But I'm telling you, that's not a good way to wake up in the morning. That's not a good way to spend a year, is full of shame. So I hope that this message finds you doing well, and I hope that that you know that I'm not trying to throw a bunch of thou shalt nots or thou shalts on you. I just think that, man, life is worth the living. It really is. And God is good. You guys are good. You're amazing. I have this philosophy that I've been working on, and then I'll wrap it up. There's 3 points and 1 question. 3 points and 1 question. I've been asking a lot of people this, and I've adapted my philosophy since I've started telling people about these 3 points and 1 question. Now, I'm nothing if I'm not adaptable. So here's the 3 points. Number 1, ready? Are you paying attention? Number 1, we have done the best that we could do. Number 2, we're doing the best that we can do. And number 3, we're going to strive to do even better in the future. 3 points and 1 question. What's the question? All right, you ready for this? How did I get to be so awesome? I've been worrying about that all day. I have no idea. So if you guys figure it out, let me know. Drop me a message. Like, share, whatever you have to do to get this message out to people. Let's change the world one walk at a time. How about that? Love you guys. Cheers.